All right, as I was saying, there was one major development that came in this morning that did not make it into the PowerPoint, and it has to deal with Overdrive and the lending libraries. And apparently, the information gurus that through that webinar on Overdrive, the Nova Scotian guy, flooded the Overdrive staff with so many publisher applications. A lot of people, and I've received a horrendous amount of emails from people from my webinar that they just can't get in. They keep getting denied. So when I called over there and talked to my frat brother, he told me that Overdrive was in the middle of changing their business model and moving more toward book aggregators rather than individual self-publishing authors. And in the middle of this, the Nova Scotia guy sent a flood of people in looking for publisher accounts. So there's a way around it, all right? It's called book aggregators. Look on the screen. This is not in the PDF, so you're going to have to write this down. There's three of them, and oddly enough, the three best are the three that Overdrive favors an awful lot. The first one is ipgbook.com, ipgbook.com. And this is probably the biggest book aggregator. A book aggregator takes a lot of small authors, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and pushes them into the marketplace based on what the author provides them. You're responsible for a lot of the marketing and promotion. They're responsible for distribution. ePub Wealth, my company, does not use book aggregators. In essence, we are book aggregators in our own right for our client authors. But if you want to get into Overdrive, IPG is very, very big with Overdrive, and it's not that hard to get into a book aggregator. One word of caution, they do not like single title authors. So if you only have one title in your inventory, do not tell them, all right? Otherwise, they'll throw you under the bus really quickly. IPG is the biggest. The next one is Constellation, all right? And that's constellationdigital.com. Once again, constellationdigital.com. They're another very big book aggregator. I talk to these people when I go to the conventions. They're a wealth of information, and they really do a good job. I have nothing bad to say about a book aggregator for small publishers. Constellation, since I don't use any of them, if I was to use one, I would probably start with IPG and then go to Constellation. The third one is National Book Network. And their URL is nbnbooks.com. NBN, Nancy Boy Nancy books.com. National Book is probably the most persnickety. They all three of them have submission requirements that you have to really pay attention to, and the reason being is the more they know about you and your books, the better they are to distribute it and place it into the marketplace. So don't be laxed in giving information to these people. Tell them the marketing promotion techniques that you're doing. That's very important to them because they don't do that. Remember that. They do not market and promote your books. They distribute books, like to Overdrive and to other, the Ingram catalog, for example, the overseas catalogs. So kind of like when I was going over the main publishing platforms in my other webinars, where you could go to BookBaby and in essence you're publishing on Kindle, etc. They act in the same way in distribution. Okay, like I said, that is not in the PDF. So people that are loading late and coming in late, you're just going to have to listen to the recording. All right, here's your download portal. I shoved a lot of things into this download portal for you. You'll find your PDF, the PowerPoint PDF is there. And as soon as the webinar finishes, I'll have my people upload the recording as soon as it's rendered. The last one was almost 200 megabytes. It took a while to load it up into the portal. But be patient. You'll see that when you go there, everything is downloadable to your desktop, or you can leave it there. I had a question that some of this stuff, and I know with all the free stuff I give away, I mean, it's gigabytes. You don't have to put it on your desktop, people. You can leave it in the portal. The portal's not going away. It doesn't expire. The URL doesn't expire. So you can leave it there and just download it as you need it or as you want to look at it. All right, but there it is. And you'll notice that it's always the same, tinyurl.com, EPUB webinar. This is the third webinar, and we'll go 4, 5, 6. If you wanted the past ones, it's just 1 and 2. So you can easily go and continue to download all the stuff that we give away. All right. Now, we got a lot to talk about today, and this stuff is really cherry. I got to tell you, what I'm going to teach you today is you're going to need a plastic surgeon to get the smile off your face when we're done. This belongs in the EPW Advanced course, the EPUB Wealth Advanced course, and I'm making an exception here. All right. And the reason why I'm making an exception because video marketing is free. All right, you can actually do it all completely 100% for free. Now, as I've said in the past, once you start making money, you should invest in certain tools that make your job easier. But what I'll show you today, you can do all day long. You can get your kids to do it. You can hire a personal assistant. I live in a university town. Southern Utah University is here. So I always hire a lot of the college kids to do a lot of the what I call grunt work. So, and this is really important because the more you do what I show you to do, the more book sales you're going to get. So this is something that you should be very aware of and you should be doing all the time. Once again, to contact me, there's my contact information at the bottom here. All right. If you need questions, you can write our support desk, which is support@epubwealth.com, or you can write to me directly. Most of the time, Angie answers in my name, my chief assistant, Angie Horwath. But to be honest with you, I'm of the knowledge and belief that she knows more than I do, but I never tell her that, especially during salary review. All right. Now, I want to introduce you to some of my most famous, or as Angie calls it, my most infamous rants. All right. On the forums this week, I posted a rant titled, "What Are We, Children?" And it was in response to somebody that didn't like my writing style, so they weren't going to write reviews on my books. That cut me. Okay, I'm over it. All right. This is, and I want to be clear on this because most of you that are on this webinar are from the forums. All right, Page One Profits, Apex Authors, Authors Forum, etc. All right. When you join these forums, you have a responsibility. The purpose of the forums is to cross-promote one another. We're not. I've read books, and I'm a speed reader. And I understand that I read and review very quickly, and while others are downloading and having to go through book after book, I think that's silly, people. All right, you're going to fall over dead if you try to read all these books, and that's why these reviews are not getting up. Likes and shares are good, but Amazon throws more weight around reviews. All right, so what you do is you go to the book description. All right, you read the other reviews. You glance through the book, maybe 4 or 5 pages, get the gist of it, and you write a review based on what you've seen. A review is only 4, 5, 6 sentences. I've seen some of you authors put up what would be considered a novella in your review. that holds no more weight than if I write 5 lines. So don't waste your time on these, very articulate reviews. But the point is, when you join these forums, the responsibility is to write reviews, share. Tagging is gone, so we don't have to worry about that. And liking the book. All right? If you don't like the book, if you can't honestly put up a good review, then write to the author and tell them, I'm not going to review this book because I don't like it. All right? Those forums are not there for critiquing. You can critique, but I always ask the author first if they want my honest critique on the book. And with 31 years in the publishing industry, I'm qualified to critique books. So when you are on these forums, I mean, people are taking this stuff way too seriously, all right? And a lot of things are getting thrown under the table because people are buried in these books and the reviews. So take that to heart. The first rant I have is nothing happens until you sell something. All right. When people ask me what I do for a living, I always tell them I'm a salesman. And about a month ago, I had a lady at church come up to me and say, why do you tell people you're a salesman when you're a doctor? Isn't a doctor's more prestigious than a salesman? It isn't about prestige, people. All right. You're a salesperson. Whether you like it or not, as an author, if you don't sell your books, it's an exercise in futility. All right. I make my money. My income comes in through sales, period. All right. Yes, I make a good living as a doctor. I make a good living as a forensic investigator and scientist. Yes, but nothing compares to what I make in sales. Nothing. So when I told the lady that, she says, well, I just think you're shooting yourself in the foot. Well, don't worry about it, lady. I mean, good gravy. I mean, it's not all about us. It's about what we do and how we do it and making sure that we sell something. The next one is the meaning of words is not in the words, they are in us. We're authors. Like I said in my rant on What Are We Children, is without authors, the world would be ignorant. We teach the world. All right? But we teach the world through our words. Now, as a behavioral scientist, I'll tell you that you have a conscious mind which sees reality for what it is. You're sitting in front of your computer right now. You probably have your mouse in your hand. Maybe you're taking a sip of coffee. That's reality. Your conscious mind knows your surroundings and your environment. The subconscious mind perceives that reality, and perception can be quite different than reality. I'm sure you fought with your wife or husband or your significant other. They've said something, you took it wrong, and a fight ensued. All right. In other words, the way it was said was not the way it was meant. So you perceived it differently. There's many cases where we perceive things differently than what the actual situation is. You've all been to a magic show. You know that magic is not real. It's sleight of hand. All right. The magician fools you into believing that it is real, but it isn't. But you perceive it to be real. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. All right. That's why you cry in movies on sad scenes. All right. Your conscious mind knows you're in a theater, but your subconscious mind does not. So it emotes the same feelings you have as if the situation were real. So the meaning of words is not in the words, they are in us. And we send that meaning to our readers. And if you want to know more about it, it's in my book, How to Write Compelling Content. The next one is hunting is for fools who've never heard about bait. All right. You don't hunt customers. You bait them. All right. And the way you bait them is by asking questions, because questions stop the mind dead in its tracks. If you've ever had insomnia, my sister was probably the biggest insomniac on the planet. All right. Ask yourself a question while you're trying to go to sleep, like it could be anything. What did you have for breakfast? What color are your socks? You'll find that your mind will come to a grinding halt to answer the question. Now, if it starts up again racing, you keep doing this maybe 3, 4, 5 times until your mind shuts down and you go to sleep. Very effective tool. Parents, you ever want to catch your kids in a lie? You ask them questions, question after question. Liars script their answers. If you keep asking questions, you trip up their script. We teach this to law enforcement through our Forensics Nation division, all right, interrogation tactics, all right. People that tell the truth, they don't need a script. They can pick up at any time because truth is truth. So if you really want to know what your kids are lying or not, keep asking questions. And they can be really dumb questions too. All right. That really frustrates them to a point where they finally give up and say, okay, I did it. The next one is doing your best is the devil's lie. I need you to do what is required. This is one of the most important of my rants. All right. When I was growing up and my father gave me a task, he was a building contractor. He built high rises. And I came back and I told him I did the best I can. I would be laying on my back spitting teeth because he would tell me immediately, I didn't ask you to do your best. I asked you to do what's required. And that is important because when you use that excuse, it gives you an excuse to blame. All right. And blame is a totally useless concept. So in all my webinars, I want you to do what's required. I want you to take what I teach you and put it to work. Many people know the price of everything but the value of nothing. And boy, is that ever a true statement. Price and value are mutually exclusive. I'll give you an example. You all know how much a Rolls Royce costs. All right? And because it costs so much and people can't afford it, it's a very exclusive automobile. And it has a very high status symbol. But what if I could get your Rolls Royce for $50 a month? Would you take it? I'm sure you would. And I'm sure everybody else would. But then the brand would be destroyed. The status symbol would be gone. All right? So price doesn't mean anything. It's debt service. I have $1 million. I'll lend it to you right now at 0.5% interest. Oh, by the way, pay it back tomorrow. No, you can't do that deal. There's just nothing you could invest in that would make it worthwhile. All right? I'll give you $1 million at 50% interest, but you pay it back in 100 years. Now that's something you can work with. The value and the worth, the cost, it's all different when you look at things in the total deal, in total perspective. In the cases that I gave you the examples, it was the debt service that was most important. The price meant nothing. All right? And if you don't believe that, look at the car leasing industry. They made a fortune off of it. All right, the next one, you cannot trust dogs. Oh, boy, I don't know how that got in there. But it's true. You can't trust dogs to watch your food, especially my dog. Okay. The Author Advisory Council, I'll bring it up again. A lot of people have been flooding into it. That's good. Remember, strength in numbers. Very important. We have big plans for that council. But we also came out this week. Let me see the next one. Author resources, and this is free too. And I placed over $10,000 in downloads in that portal, and there's over 50 downloads in there, and they're large. So use the portal as a storage facility, like I told you earlier. Don't try to download it all to your desktop. Like I said, the portal isn't going away, and it doesn't expire. And there's the URL right here. You can get it when you get the PDF. Book Review Board. The EPW.com site is down. We're redesigning the site. It'll be up pretty soon. I think you're going to like the new design. We're experimenting in a bunch of different techniques. I think when you see what the new site reveals, you'll be very impressed. Book Review Board is like the forums. You can place your book on there, and then all our authors that subscribe to it come like it, share it, and review it. Only difference is you don't get thrown out of this book review board like I got thrown out of Apex Forum this week. I think you guys all read my post. I was banned from Apex Forum. Curses. All right. What's happening since our last webinar? What's going on? You probably noticed that Amazon increased the KDP Bonus Global Fund to $2.2 million. They were inundated. all right, with complaints from authors of the December payout being only $1.88. I mean, they were lambasted. So their answer was to throw money at it, and they doubled the fund in order to kind of pacify everybody. I think that's kind of cute, all right, that their way of mollifying things is throwing money at it. Okay, my rant, What Are We Children, drew some really good responses from a lot of the authors, mostly in favor of what I said. Few were opposed. Not many. I was amazed. A lot of authors were harboring a lot of feelings of reviewing other authors' books and not getting the reviews back. And I can't blame them. So I've said enough on that. We'll move on. Remember in the last webinar, I told you about the Salty Droid, and there's his URL right there, saltydroid.info. It seems, my spies tell me, that the author informational gurus have now come under his radar, and he's starting to look at all the complaints that are coming in from them not honoring price guarantees and refund guarantees. I think it's going to get butt ugly before it gets better, but it's going to be interesting to watch. Stay tuned. Keep going over to his blog and reading what's going on. He really goes after people in a bad way. And I mean, these guys, he's exposing an awful lot of dirtbags. So check it out when you get a chance. Okay, I received a really large ton of emails on starting your own publishing business. This is covered in the EPA Advanced course, and it's too lengthy because there's too many aspects and facets of starting your business. I've been answering the emails when authors write in one by one, mostly by asking questions. What do you intend to do? How big do you intend to take this? Most of the responses have been, I have one or two friends that want me to publish their stuff, the whole thing. That's fine, but that really doesn't require a publishing business to do that. You can form an LLC or a sole proprietorship and publish your stuff very easily in a system, charge them a fee. If you really want to get into publishing, where you're publishing many different genres, then you need to join the EPW Advanced course. I wrote that course for forum members. Unfortunately, when I opened the course, a lot of non-forum members jumped on it, and it closed right away. I opened it for some forum members to get in. I wanted to keep it at 100. It's 126 now. If you were left out and you want to be a part of it, write me an email and I'll open a slot for you, as long as you're a forum member. I don't, the author clients that we have, they get a lot of instructions from us personally. I don't want them taking up a slot that could go to a forum member. Okay. Another thing that I've been really receiving a lot of emails, apparently a lot of you have been using my graphic designer, Sanchita. I'm glad she's doing you a good job. She always has done me a great job. So I'm very confident that she'll continue to work. There's her contact information. One of the things that she's really, and this is important, most of you are contacting her for book covers. Sanchita is a full-service graphic designer. She's on Facebook, too, under BN Solutions. She does, look on the right here. All right, let me pump this up so you can see it better. All right, she does these, I send her these viral images, all right, and the content, and she puts these shout boxes together, and then I publish them on the internet. I'm going to have a webinar on viral images, which is really important. It's very easy to do. When you go into Google Images or Yahoo Images, you put in a keyword, most of the time you'll see some of my stuff. That's how effective it is. But it's more effective on the way we put it out on the internet other than the image sites. And I'll show you how to do that. I use humor a lot. I was a stand-up comic for 10 years. That's how I put myself through college. So comedy comes easy for me. But some of you, there's a lot of places on the net where you can get ideas. I sent, I think in webinar 2, it could be 1, I think it was 2, I gave a whole bunch of free, royalty-free image sites where you could pick up images for free. That's where I get all mine. So, and Dreamstime, dreamstime.com, I pick up a lot of viral images, use them. And when I do the webinar, I'm gonna show you how to really get this stuff moving. It sells books like you won't believe. All right, almost as well as video marketing. People like graphics, they like video. They prefer that over reading content. And they like to laugh, and they like to be entertained. We live in a society of consumerism and entertainment. And entertainment is big with people. That's why they're on Facebook. They're building relationships. They want to be entertained. They want to socialize. You have to change their direction to get them to buy something. And that's one of the things we're going to get into in a little bit. Okay, opportunity knocks, and most of the time, many of you aren't even paying attention. All right, you can't let anything get by you in the publishing business. All right, now, I'm a people guy. All right, I think you've noticed on the forums, I engage everybody. I mean, when I go shopping with Angie for something, she always says, "Can't you just once not talk to people?" No, really, I can't. I mean, I really enjoy people. All right. Now, I met a guy, you've heard him on the forum. His name is Wayne Standiford. There's his email. He was in Vietnam a year before I was in Marine Recon, so we met and we were sharing memories of the war. And lo and behold, he came out with a program, and I'm going to show it to you. Let's see if I can find it first. He did this video. Okay. Now, the way he did those videos, there's 2 programs that he used. One is GoAnimate. That's the one where you see the guy drawing Superman, et cetera, et cetera. Then he used another program, Sparkle. All right, and these are 2 sites that they have upgrades in them. You could join for free, a free trial, and then upgrade. But what I'm doing is I've been talking to him about doing a service for authors where he can build book trailer videos for you. That's very effective using events, current events that score high keyword-wise, and you're kind of like piggybacking onto it. So the second one is Jim Rogers. After talking with Jim, he's a retired audio and video engineer for the studios. This guy is a wealth of video knowledge, all right? And I'm talking to him about doing a series of projects and putting together a program for you authors too. We've got talent on these forums, people, that you don't even know about, all right, that you are unaware of because you don't engage these people. You don't have to be super nosy like I am. I mean, I always want to know everything. But once you get to know these people and you develop a relationship, you sit there and my marketing mind goes to work saying, boy, this stuff is great. I mean, if other authors knew about it, they would be selling more books. So just a little example using these two sites. Now, he also did one, if you don't know about Gumroad, it came up in the forum and I was amazed because nobody knows about Gumroad. All right, I am constantly amazed that every once in a while, one of you authors pops up with something that I just sit there and go, how did they know about that? All right, Gumroad is, it's not a news site, but it's really kind of beta testing what it's been doing. What it does, all right, is this. All right, and this is Wayne Standiford's book, and it's on Facebook. It comes up on Facebook, and then when you click, and it's below the seam here, when you click the buy button, you never leave Facebook, and you do everything on Facebook. It never clicks off, which really annoys people that they have to leave Facebook to go do something. This is really, you have no idea how powerful this is. All right. Now, in doing the ads, to be honest with you, I wouldn't do an ad like that. All right. The way you do an ad is you ask a question, and the question would be something like, do you know there's an herb that would take care of your acne or eczema? Do you know what that herb is? All right. Something of that nature where, remember, questions stop the mind. So whatever they're thinking about or thinking of doing comes to a grinding halt when they read that question and they go, no, I didn't know there's an herb that will do that. And it draws them in. All right. The ad captures their attention. The verbiage, the content, the words captures their mind. And that's when you get a sale. All right. He did a very good job on this, but this is very, very powerful. So if you get a chance, go up to Gumroad. All right. Sign in. All right. It's free. And there's an upgrade. You can upgrade, and I strongly suggest you take the upgrade because what they do in the upgrade is marvelous. All right. I've been using Gumroad for a while now, and I love it. All right. And I always thought it was the best kept secret. Now, if you really want to know how to use all this stuff, all right, you have simple social selling. Here's the URL right here. Costs $9.95. It's put out by Tanner Larson out of Reno. He does a really good job of explaining Gumroad and using GoAnimate and the Sparkle site, all right, and doing exactly like Wayne showed you. A lot of people are familiar with the social selling. It's really a good book, all right, short, it's not very long, but it explains everything in detail, and it's only $9.95, so it's well worth the price. Okay, another one that shocked me on the forums was one of the ladies came up with Flipsnack. I can't remember the lady's name, but I literally almost fell over. All right, nobody knows about Flipsnack. All right, you line up 1,000 authors, maybe one or two has ever heard of them. This is a free site, all right, where you go and you do a flip book. All right, you do not upload this to Amazon or to any publisher. This is for your PDF sales off your website. All right, it makes a beautiful, beautiful book. All right, and all your PDFs, if you can put them into Flipsnack, you'll see people will be very, very pleased with your product. All right, go toy around with it. Sign up for a free account and use one of your books. Just install your content, your pictures, etc. Follow the instructions, and then look at the finished product. And it makes a great PDF. But remember, you cannot publish it on any publishing platforms, so don't even try. Okay, the internet works because it's personal and interactive. And this is very important. I want you to remember those two words, personal and interactive. Interactive books sell the best because they engage the customer, they engage the reader. All right, they got to do something. All right, now in Flipbook, all right, and the one I just showed you, one of the things my R&D people working on is incorporating a video into the Flipbook, and we're pretty close to it. We're gonna where you flip the pages and then it has video narrative and pictures while you're reading. You follow along. When it comes out, I'll let you know, and I'll use you guys as a beta test. But interactive is the key. All right. Now, one of my associates, our most prolific author, Dr. Harry J., wrote The Pain Game, which is a pain quiz book. He wrote the mental side of it, being a behavioral scientist, and one of his associates wrote, who's an MD, wrote the physical side of pain. And most people don't understand pain. They see it as a negative because it hurts, but it's really a positive. And once you read this book, when I read it, I was totally amazed that I didn't even understand pain. But what the important part is, it engages the reader. You have to answer the quiz. All right, and it shows you the answer. When you answer wrong, it then gives you the right answer, and then you go on to the next one. It's engaging, and the book sells well because it is interactive. Now, I notice a lot of you, or a good many of you, publish children's books. You really need to diversify, but that's another subject. All right, interactive children's books sell the best. And I noticed a lot of you are now really starting to get into interactive children's books, and that's great. I'm glad to see it because you're going to be really successful at it. Children like to be engaged more than adults. I mean, anything that grabs their attention, you got them, you own them. And you own the parent because it keeps the kid out of trouble and from doing other things. Okay, this is another site that came up. One of the gentlemen on the forums, I think it was the authors forum, brought up Grammarly. Grammarly is not a new site. It's new in the way they're presenting it now. They've changed their model. All right, it's kind of pricey. I use it because English is my second language, and sometimes my grammar needs a lot of help. So I use it extensively. It's not cheap, all right, but it does have a free trial to where you can test it. It really does check grammar. Now, a good many of you on this webinar are from offshore, all right? We have people from the UK, France, Europe in general. I see Australia on here. I see Japan on here. You need, when you publish in whatever platform, like Amazon, for example, if you're publishing in the UK, you need to use UK grammar. All right. Now, is it so critical if you're using US? No. I mean, nobody's going to sit there and write you an email and call you everything but a white man because you're not using the proper British grammar. But, you know, it actually is pretty good to where you can put it in the context that they're used to. We have an office in Mayfair in London. And I'll never forget this. One of the secretaries came up and asked if I had a rubber. And I looked at her and I go, "What did you just say?" Well, a rubber in English vernacular is an eraser. You know what a rubber is in the American vernacular. So I was totally dumbfounded. She saw the look on my face. When I told her exactly what I just told you, she started cracking up. It was funny, all right? When I was in my German office, we had similar instances where they would say, "Why do you say, what does this mean?" All right? Every language has its idioms. And every language has a multitude, and English is probably the worst language for idioms. We have so many idioms in English. I'm amazed that people can even remember any of them. All right. I'm from Italy. All right. I speak Italian, many dialects of Italian, and we have some beautiful idioms. All right. In the U.S., actors say good luck by using the term break a leg. In Italy, we have the same thing. It's called in bocca al lupo, in the mouth of the wolf. One of the most beautiful idioms in Italian is to describe a woman that has given birth to a child, and it's called il dare le luci, which means to give to the light. So some of them, some idioms are quite beautiful. Others are just totally off the wall. I know I'm a widower, and I raised my daughters as a single parent. I remember when they were teenagers, my oldest daughter says, "Dad, I got to bail. I got to go to school." And I'm sitting there, I'm going, "What's leaking?" I mean, they talked a totally different language, and I finally got to a point where I said, "Speak English," because I don't understand a word most of the time that these kids were saying. And I'm sure you go through the same thing with today's youth. They probably have a whole new vernacular that they go through. Grammarly is a good site. If you can afford the priciness of it, it's definitely worth your while. Okay, I put in your download portal. Let me bring it up in the Excel. This is a software program that I wrote. It's a macro inside an Excel program. It's called Traffic Worksheet. And what it does is you put in how much money you want to make and what's the price of your book. All right, and what's your royalty? All right, so if you're under 70% or the 30% royalty on Amazon, you figure you could put it in there, and it tells you how many visitors you need in order to make that sale, that amount. Then it shows you what to do in traffic sources right here. And at the very bottom, I give you all the really neat sites to get traffic from. All right, so good. It's a good tool. Screw around with it. I had a lot of fun. I use it all the time. Of course, I wrote it, but I could be a little biased. Okay, now, this is important. I received a lot of emails from the backlinking in Webinar 2, mostly centered around, do we have to pay the $25 or $30 a month fee for consistency? And the answer is yes. And I realize that there are budgetary considerations for some of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this for free. Now, with my program Backslam, that's on a scale from 1 to 10, that's a 10 because it does everything. All right, the new Backslam Lite, which we're still trying to get work the bugs out, when it's released will be a 6 or a 7. What I'm going to show you is like a 3 or a 4. All right, it's not the best technique, but it's not the worst either. All right, there's two sites, howismysite.com and Weberlinks. So let's go to them. Now this is pretty easy to do. Okay, what you do is right here you put your domain name in. Unfortunately, you cannot use your Amazon book URL. It won't render because it's a shared URL with Amazon. So you put your blog URL. All right, so let's do this. Let's take just the EPUB Wealth. Boy, don't know what happened there. Now, this is, as you can see, this has already been done, but here are 17 right here. You click on each one of these domains. All right. Copy the URL and put it in a text folder. All right. Go to the next one. You do that 17 times. You have a list of 17 here. All right. You go through each one. Then you go over to Ping Farm. Take your 17 URLs. Put in your keyword, and that would be e-publishing. I type like a geek. And then your RSS feed, which is right here. Remember in my last webinar, if you don't have an RSS feed, go over to feedburner.com, get one for free. All right, and then you just hit mass ping, and away it goes. Then you go to the next one, which is, what happened to it? Oh, here it is. Web links. You do the same thing. You put in your primary keyword, put in your domain, which is your blog. All right. Go through the same thing. They recommend these pingers. Don't even bother with them. Just go to Ping Farm. All right. It does a better job. Now, what not to do. All right. Very important. Well, you only ping this once a month. That's where your consistency comes in. All right. You have, let me show you. No, that isn't it. I got the wrong site. You don't want to use, here it is. You don't want to use what we call link farms. All right, this is a link farm. You got a lot of link farms on the net. A couple Panda, Google Panda shots ago, they stopped indexing backlink farms, link farms. You don't want to use these, so stay away from these. Just use those two sites I showed you, and you'll do extremely well. That's all free. Didn't cost you a dime. One thing to do is, if you notice, these are all the pages on my ePub Wealth site. All right. You do each one of those pages, every page of your website, you do this for. Yes, it's tedious, I know, but it's free. All right. You can do the same thing that we're doing in backlinks using an automated software. Not as good a job, but it satisfies the problem if you have budgetary considerations. And so that's that. All right. Let's get into video marketing, which is the main gist of this all. The components of video marketing is obviously you have to have a video, so it's production. All right. I placed a book in your download portal called Fiverr All-Stars. It has all the top-notch Fiverr contractors on Fiverr by category. So you don't have to wade through the idiots. These are the ones that deliver 100% of the time. They're consistent. They're good. That book is a gold mine right there. Under video production, you'll find different video producers that will build your video for $5. All right. It's really important that when you're doing your book trailer, you leave nothing to chance. You give them your copy, what you want in the script. You give them the images that you want to be in there, etc. Let me show you one that, wait a minute. I use a guy called M Market, I think it's in the webinar. It's in the PowerPoint somewhere. When you're paying $5 for something like this, I mean, come on, what's the best use of your time, people? This is for my novel, Common Ground. All right, for $5, I think I got my money's worth. All right, when you can use Fiverr. I recommend them. Best use of your time. Or you can use Camtasia Studios, and I gave you a free Camtasia Studio. Download it at this URL right here, and there's the key. This is developer software, so don't register it. You don't need to register it. It'll ask you to register it. Just ignore it. It works fine. Camtasia Studio, if you Google tutorials for Camtasia 7, it'll teach you how to use the software. I love it. All right, you'll notice on here, all right, this is all Camtasia right here. And it allows you to build videos. I could actually turn this into a video using Camtasia Studio. So it's pretty neat. I like Camtasia. I use it an awful lot. It's my preference. Okay, one of the things that came up on the forum, that again I was amazed, was Storytelling Machines, which is really a cute site. For those who are very inexperienced in video or are technically challenged, I recommend Storytelling Machines. All right, it's free. You can go play around with it. Teach yourself how to insert images and copies and graphics, stuff like that. Personally, ePub Wealth has its own studio in-house, and I still farm most of my stuff out to Fiverr, etc. You can't do it for $5, all right? You just can't. It's easier just to farm it out. If you're really getting into video in a big way and doing more than just book trailers, then I would start with Camtasia. But Storytelling Machines will give you a really, really good foundation. All right. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but let's go there. You can actually do a video on YouTube. Let's see. Let's go in there. Now, where did I put it? Oh, it's in the PowerPoint. Sorry, people. All right, when you go into create a video, all right, right here, let me pump that up for you. Right here, webcam capture. If you have a webcam on your laptop or your desktop, you can actually click that and you can make a video right on YouTube. Most people don't even know that. You could actually sit there and do a video review. And by the way, that brings up a point. I'm glad it came to mind. Video reviews get a lot more weight with Amazon than written reviews. All right, let me see if I can find one to demonstrate to you. All right. Yeah, I think it's in body language. Hold on. Okay, is this the one? Hold on. I think this is it. I could swear this is what people told me. No, I'm wrong. I thought I had a good one to show you. That would be a good example. Like I said, video reviews throw more weight with Amazon. And you'll notice when on Amazon, when you click write a review, the first tab on the review is video. They really prefer a video review over a text and written review. Remember that if you're looking to get more weight for your books, you can either go to Fiverr, you can go to TaskRabbit, you can go to MicroWorkers, and have people write you video reviews, which really comes in handy. Okay, here's another kept secret. It's called Stage.com. All right, Stage is really awesome. It is one of my favorite sites. Stage is a full marketing program. All right, I mean, it does everything. You upload your video, and it has marketing distribution. I mean, really, really interesting, especially if you upgrade to the Pro package. This is something that you really need to take a look at. It's Stage.com. Really a good site. I love Stage. View count. This is a co-op site. All right. This is where you view somebody's video and they view yours. Pretty much like the forum. All right. Or you can buy credits and get people to review your videos for you. In YouTube marketing, views are important. All right, so you can get the more views you can get, the better. There's one site that I use quite often. It's this one. All right, and it's in the PowerPoint, so you can get the URL. For $50 to give you 1,000 YouTube likes, that you get a video like the one I just showed you for my novel Common Ground. You get 1,000 likes in one day for that, and they'll put them up in one day. That thing's going to go viral. Excuse me, people. They also subscribers throw a lot of weight. More. This is the highest weight factor on YouTube. It's people subscribing to your channel. All right. If you're going, if you only have $50, do the subscribers before you do the views. And I like this site, and they're pricey. I mean, there's other sites where you can get it cheaper, but these people, they don't leave a footprint for Google to see that you're actually buying this stuff. That's important. All right, no footprint, then nobody knows that those are not really real subscribers, even though they are. Okay, marketing your video. This is the most important part of the webinar. All right, marketing video is the same as pretty much anything on the net. Backlinking is everything. All right, and backlinking is so important on marketing a video that I want to spend a lot of time going over this with you. All right, you cannot. Most people will produce a book trailer, place it on their YouTube channel, tag it, then sit back and wait for the mojo. You're going to wait till you fall over dead. There's so many videos being uploaded to YouTube, you're going to be lost in the mix. You got to stand out. I'm going to show you how to stand out. All right. Now, what's really important is video marketing is very similar to article marketing. All right. You upload your video to the video sharing sites, which there's a whole list of them in your download. And if it's the same video going to like 200 sites like in article marketing, Google ignores it. They know what you're doing. So if you send one article to 200 article sites, it's ignored. It's totally wasted time, effort. No backlinks come from it, et cetera, et cetera. Video marketing is the same. If you upload to the 200 plus sharing sites and it's the same video, again, it's ignored. All right. So I'm going to show you how not to be ignored. All right. First of all, let's go to the video editor. All right. In your YouTube channel, you have a video editor. All right. These are a list of the videos that I have put. And I have almost 60 of them on this channel. All right. Now, you remember I promoted a book recently called How to Get Paid for Everything You Do, right there. But then I changed the video, and I'm going to show you how to change the video. It's the same video, but Google doesn't know it. All right. I changed the video, get paid to freelance. And I could have put get paid to do surveys, get paid to work at home. All right. And what you do is you go over here and you pick out your keyword. In this case, it was freelance. Okay, you got all of that. I recommend that you download all 800 results. Save it to your desktop. Okay, we're done with that. Now, you take, in your editor, you drag your original video over to your editor. All right? How did that happen? Then your text box up here, you want banner. You drag that over here. Now what that does is you now are able to retitle it. All right, how to get paid freelancing. All right, capitalize. I told you I type like a geek. Now, when I push the save button, this now is how to get paid freelancing. Google sees it as a new video. All right. Totally new video. Now you do this with those keywords that you downloaded. All right. And it could be, let's open that up. Could be for every one of those. All right. Now, if you do this like 5 each day for each one of your book trailers, each day, all right, you heard it right. If you do this 5 each day, it's free. You'll see that your videos are indexed very quickly, and they rise to the first page very quickly too. Why? Because you have relevant content. That's relative to begin with. You have consistency, and you have diversity. They're seeing more and more videos, and then you post those to the video sites. Now, how do you post them? All right, I'm glad you asked. And by the way, this is the description in the PowerPoint of how to do it. All right, you can go to Traffic Geyser. And I believe, don't quote me, I haven't looked at this for a while, it's $197 a month. And they'll post to all the main sites. A little pricey. All right. This site is brand new. This is Video Launch. It's in beta. This site is free and does the same thing Traffic Geyser does. All right. So go and sign up for a free account. If you have existing book videos, trailers, then remix them with the different keywords, all right, take them over to Video Launch and start posting them on the sites. I gave you a list of all the main sites in your download portal. In fact, let's go there so I can explain some things to you. All right. Hold on 1 minute. All right. You cannot believe what I have on this site. Okay. Here's the PDF of what I'm showing you right now. This is the next one is a video marketing blueprint, explains everything that I've explained in the marketing and how to optimize your video, everything. It's a step-by-step process, so you don't have to listen to me drolling on. These are all your video sharing sites. I also included soundtracks, royalty-free music, in case you want to use Camtasia and you want to build your own. And I gave you some ebooks that I have that are on video itself. And here's the Fiverr All-Star book I told you about that's worth its weight in gold. So that's what's in your download office or your download portal. The only thing remaining is I will upload the audio recording. Okay, the next one is TubeMogul. TubeMogul was the original main video marketing site. Most of you probably heard of TubeMogul. They've been around for a while. But what they did was they split their model, and TubeMogul is now basically a branding site. Their video site is called OneLoad, and this is the one you would go to upload your video. They also have an analytics site called Video Hub. But then again, this is the one you want. If you want, they could help you market the video and get it out there. Marketing book trailers is not something I recommend as far as paid advertising, stuff like that. You don't need it. I mean, once you upload it and you're using the editor to remix the video so Google thinks it's a totally different video, you're good to go. Like I said, I put your video sharing sites are in your back office. There's your blueprint. And that's it. Okay, if you have any questions, put them in the box, and let's go to that next and see what everybody is wondering about. Hold on a second. I gotta figure this out again. Something happened to my question box. I cannot, Who stole my question box? Sorry, people, I'm having a hard time being technical. Oh, there it is. Okay. Finally. Beginning to think I was a drooly, mealy-mouthed idiot. Okay. Okay, the question here was from George. What's the difference between these guys and Smashwords? What guys, George? Are you talking about the book aggregators? That's probably what you're talking about. Okay. Aggregators simply distribute. Smashwords actually publishes and provides the download portal, etc. Big difference, all right? I mean, Smashwords is involved in the total part of the sale. They only distribute. The book aggregators only distribute. Marcy says she's an insomniac. Well, now you know how to get rid of it. Yeah, pattern interrupt is a good concept, and if it works for you, fine. But I like things that are simple. I mean, I have stopped so many people dead in their tracks by just asking a question and the mind comes to a screeching halt. It's amazing. It truly is. Yes, I did get banned, Marcy, from the Apex forum. No reason was given. I logged in one day, and that's it. And I've subsequent to that, when I made an announcement that I was banned, I had an awful lot of people write to me saying that the same thing happened to them. That's not goodwill. I mean, the John and Jay are shooting themselves in the foot. And from what I understand, like I said about the Salty Droid, they're one of the main ones that he's going after. So I think what goes around comes around, whatever. Let's see. Yeah. Flip Snack. Good, really good comment, Marcy. Some of these flip book sites are really expensive, and I agree with you, Marcy. This one's free. I don't think it's going to remain free. It's still in beta, and usually in beta they attract a large audience. That's the purpose of giving it away free. I'm sure it's going to cost. All right. There is software out there, and I'll have Angie dig it up for me. That it's a desktop program that you can actually build flip books on your desk, turn them into PDF through Adobe Acrobat, and I think that's $99 one time only. And I have it somewhere. Angie, if you know it, pull it up for me, would you please? Otherwise, I'll put it in a subsequent webinar. But I like desktop stuff rather than online. Okay. Okay, Marcy, again, you're saying, are you missing some of the authors' forums? I did belong to Apex, as you know. Page One Profits is a good one. Mario Deal is really a sharp guy. In fact, I'm amazed at some of the things he knows, especially in publishing. There's a few things that I've called him to task on, and he writes to me a lot because of, I'm sure he listens to these webinars and he wants more information on the things that we teach. But a good site. Page One is pretty good. I don't know Rachel Wolf very well. I know Michaela Zanto. I think she's out of London. It works for Rachel, and that's why you always see Rachel's books being promoted by Michaela. But good one. Page One Profits. My favorite is Authors Forum. It's a private forum. Many of you belong to it. If you don't, write to me. It's an invitation only. what I like about it, it's private. You can say anything you want. You promote what you want, just as long as it isn't racial, dirty, or whatever. I mean, Kathleen Keene, who runs the site, is a very sharp lady and knows her stuff inside and out. Unfortunately, you probably saw my post this morning that she went to the hospital with chest pains this morning. Her husband wrote to me, and so keep her in your prayers. You can't get Backslam. That's the problem. That's why we're coming out with Backslam Lite. Backslam is only for our client authors. I'm trying to get this Backslam Lite launched. It's causing us some really big headaches, and I don't know why. I'm probably gonna have to pull the thing apart and go through it code by code, but we're working on it. How do you put your video review onto Amazon? Very simple. Click on your review like you're doing a written review, and you'll see the first button is video. You upload your video review, and then you can say a little bit about it, and it's easy. That's it. No different than writing a review. The only difference is that you're uploading your video and maybe putting in 1 or 2 sentences about the book, or what I do is I put my tags in there. Oh, thank you. Daniel Young says that Traffic Geyser's $97 a month. Thank you for the correction. I thought it was $197. That's pretty good. I mean, Traffic Geyser's a good site. I'm sure, Dan, you're having good luck with it. But now that the free site is out, take a look at that, and you may be able to save yourself $100 a month. IPG books, yes. George. Yes. Dave Nickel asks, when you change the keywords and names of your video, does that mean that you're going to have numerous versions of the one video on your channel? Yes. All right. You'll have, and on one of our channels, we have like 2,000 versions of different videos that we've remixed. That shouldn't be a factor. There's no limit what you can put on a channel. Probably it's going to be a little tedious wading through the stuff to find if you're looking for something, one specific video. Wouldn't that look weird to people that look at your channel? No, not really. I've never been called on it. Nobody's ever brought it to my attention that they don't understand it. Most people aren't looking at your channel, though. They're looking at your video. So I guess I don't know how to answer that, David. Sorry. Okay. Email is Marcy. It's lee.benton@epubwealth.com is my email. All right, boy, I got away with really easy on the questions. If something comes up and you have another question, just write to me. Go through the blueprint. It has everything in there so that you can step by step. It gives you some more optimization techniques on how to do your description and your tags, etc. Very important. I didn't want to waste your time on stuff that's already written down for you. Remember, what I've showed you is all free. You can do this, and book trailers really help sell your books. And if you're going to use the book aggregators, make sure you make them aware of your book trailers and your YouTube. They're very interested in marketing and promotion. Okay, that's it, everybody. It's 12:20. We didn't go too far past like last webinar. See you in a few weeks. God bless you. Take care. And signing off now.